And welcome to Talking Hawks fans. We are here to connect Hawks fans from around the world, share their passion, discuss football with some intelligence and have some laughs. So you can laugh at my intro just there. How you going, Erin?
Really well. How are you, Matt?
Excellent, excellent. You got to the game. I'm a little bit jealous.
I did.
That was your first one for the season, was it?
First one since Ruffy's farewell game. So it's been a while. It was great to be back.
Special. We got Scooter behind the scenes helping moderate tonight. So, keep things going. Scooter, thank you very much. Erin, what's we're going to see if you can get the fans up to let us know where they're coming in from today.
Fans, where are you? Show us some comments. Tell us where you're from. Tell us what you thought about the game. Commiserations to all of us.
Yeah, look, a lot happens to put Talking Hawks together. So we've got Shad at Assertive Media, Lane at Tradie Marketing, Scott at Slipstream Signs have all helped us along the way. So thank you to you all. But on tonight's show, Erin, the Geelong game, a magnificent fight back. Just couldn't quite finish it off. We'll touch on the Box Hill Northern Bull Ants match. A little bit of a DGB update. There's not too much that we're hearing at the moment, but look at the Freo Hawks game as well. So injuries, ins and outs. So hang around for a big show. So again, let us know what your thoughts were of the game, and what do you think, Erin? Do you want to kick us off with scoreline? Just a quick overview of the match.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, 5 points, so close yet so far. I was sitting in amongst a couple of Geelong fans, and I think it was halfway through the first quarter or towards the end of the quarter where they started yelling out scoreboard, and I so badly wanted to win that game, and I so thought that we were going to pinch it.
Yeah, it had that feel, didn't it? And just that arm wrestle of the heavyweights that we've got accustomed to with Geelong. So, look, nearly. There's a few comments I saw that I was like, I don't know, a little bit harsh. And Isaac being booed. Was that you? Were you one of them, Erin?
Look, deep down, I'm not the happiest fan with Isaac Smith, let it be known, but I didn't boo him. I was next to my 3-year-old, which was his first game, so it wouldn't have been a very good look. But I completely understand why a lot of fans did. Yeah,
family club. Good to see, Erin. And got there with your dad, didn't you? So 3 generations. Look at that, family club. Awesome. Well, what was one of your sort of big takeaways? I thought we started off nicely. Chad Wingard announced himself with that big goal from about 50, and I thought Chad's, letting everyone know he's here for the season.
He's back. It was great to see. I think that game would have given him a lot of confidence. His inside 50s was great. His pressure, the whole game, I thought he was a standout. Are we going to talk about CJ? I'm sure the fans will want us to talk about CJ.
Totally. The questions are starting to come in the comments. So, look, this is an interesting one. Who is it? There we go. We got people coming in from everywhere tonight. That's great to see. There we go. A bit of Tassie.
Someone says, Ray, 3 votes for Geelong. I agree.
I think the one thing, Darv here, at halftime, Sam Mitchell he was interviewed quickly, and he said, we're just trying to get it inside 50 quickly. So for mine, I think with Lewis back in, maybe that's part of what we were trying to do. What did you make of it?
Look, he brought the ball to ground a lot. In previous games, we've seen Brockman up forward and more really get on the end of those. In that game, I don't think it really worked for us. The Geelong defence was just really good. It felt like they were flooding the backline a little bit. The long bombs didn't really work.
Yeah, the flooding of the backline is an interesting one. I think we did okay defensively in the back 6. It's just probably understated area of our game. But I know when we were trying to bomb it in long, it was just Cosy looked well held for mine.
Plenty of fans at the game were screaming for Lewis and Cosy to lead to the ball. And I think that was really felt amongst the fans where I was, the rowdy fans where I was sitting.
Did you get a feel for playing deep and playing high, running up the ground? Where were the two of them mostly roaming?
I think, sorry, I probably wasn't really paying attention too much to that, but I think it was around the 50-meter line. But yeah, they didn't look like they had a lot of space to run into, and they didn't try and create space or move around from what I saw. And I think that was a bit of the fans' frustration.
Yeah. Look, there's different things. I think we're still trying to get a read on if like that game plan. Did you get any more sort of pennies drop around watching? It's very different to watching on TV, isn't it?
It is, and I think a lot of the comments I was reading on social media from people who weren't at the game seemed to be a bit of a different take to what I saw at the game, which is always interesting. I guess 2020 we were watching so many games on TV, but I saw a lot of the switch happening with that game. Obviously, the famous one at the end, Daniel Howe, the one that didn't quite pull off for us, but we definitely were looking to switch and probably to break up that Geelong defence a bit more.
Yeah, look. Louise here, bang on. Frosty, just he does give us something, doesn't he?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Frost. I know that he had a couple of disposal errors on Monday, but he took that great mark. And when he does break the lines and run through the ground, I really like that confidence.
Yeah. Look, and I know you touched on Gunston before we got online here. Here it is, Tim. He's on the money with you. How much of a difference would Gunston have made? Everyone, fans, come on. It's sad face emojis going on right now, but hopefully we get him back quickly. He just gives us so much. Yeah, that's the hope. I think he's just so flexible and nimble, isn't he? What Gunston brings us, it's almost small forward and your medium-sized forward.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess with him out, that was an opportunity to see the combo of Cosy and Lewis. Did they step up and take it? I think both of them had good and bad elements of their game, which is obviously going to come. They're new and learning how to work that combination out. So, it's good to see them get an opportunity. But with Gunston in, it would have been a win.
Yeah, and Tim O'Brien's starting as medical sub, so that's interesting, isn't it? What does that say anything? I think with Lewis's form in the VFL, he was putting his hand up very strongly. I don't mind it that I think he deserved the spot ahead of O'Brien this week.
Yeah, he definitely deserved the opportunity. But I mean, O'Brien also had a pretty good preseason from what I can gather. So it's good to have that competition for spots. We're just trying to find out what works best and who fits where.
Yeah. And look, did you make anything of, like for mine, we talked beforehand. I think Tim O'Brien gets a hand to the ball. He'll fly for everything, which is great. I think with Lewis, you got a guy that's probably going to clunk a little bit more. He just seemed to control, I don't know, either bodies or just where the ball went, and to give, as Greg says here, the smalls a chance to do some more things.
Yeah, once they start getting a bit more confidence at that senior level, start taking those marks. Obviously, we remember Cosy running back with the flight of the ball either late in the third quarter or the fourth, and missed a sitter. And you could hear the disappointment across the entire ground, and probably the shock from Geelong that wasn't going to end up being a goal for us. Just experience and confidence, and hopefully we can start taking some marks inside the 50, because at the ground it felt like it was in our 50 so often, but we had to work 3 times as hard for our goals.
Didn't we? It was like Geelong was doing the Hawthorn of old to us with that possession game, and we just, once they got it in their hands, that sort of defence structure that we've got right now, the intercepts, it's more so when it's a long bomb, we're not intercepting too many short passes at the moment is sort of what I'm observing. And I think it is what it is. You're prepared to probably more concede less ground with that sort of a structure, as opposed to a long bomb and the opposition taking in a mark deeper, inside their 50s. But we saw CJ again flying. We saw some good aerial work by the defence. So I'm kind of comforted by that. But just
there was so many promising signs.
Yeah. This is an interesting one. We'll get to you, Greg. Look, midfield, wings, just touching on that. Morrison, what a cracking game he had.
He's really stepping up, isn't he?
Mm. Did you catch he was talking about with Bolton in the off-season? He spoke to them and just sort of said, as players, as coaches, or him as a coach, this is my style, this is how I like to coach, but how do you like to be coached? And I think you touched on it, Aaron. Those that are a little bit less experienced, just getting to know each other, getting to know coaches, there's a lot of upside to come. So, but hearing something like that, Morrison said that was confidence. Is something that's been built over the off season for him, and that's why he's really going well so far.
Yeah, and it's a learning curve for the senior coaches who have been around for those premiership years as well. They're used to coaching these mature veterans who have performed on the big stage. There's obviously a different dynamic when you're coaching a young up-and-coming group.
Mm. So, question for you, and maybe Tom Phillips. I'm fans. Help me, help it. What's your take here on Tom Phillips, everyone? Because I was very pumped with him coming in, and I think could be a number of different things. Tell us what your thoughts are. I want to give him the benefit of the doubt, but right now I think he still deserves a starting spot. But there's a bit of chemistry, and maybe I'm just not understanding the role he's got to be playing right now.
I think so. I think coming into a new team, there's obviously always that gelling period to work alongside new teammates. However, you compare him directly to, Isaac Smith, who he's essentially replaced, and sadly, Izzy looks like he's fitted in seamlessly at Geelong. He's played 3 really good games for them. So in that direct comparison, it's a bit... we're hoping that he'll pick up his game a little bit. I thought that he had some good moments on Monday, but he did look a little bit slow at points. There's definitely some gelling with the team and some room for improvement. I know that he went to receive a handball on his wrong foot at one point and then got tackled. So there's obviously the understanding between teammates as well that needs to come.
Yeah, you make a good point. It is that chemistry. It does take a little bit of time to come. I'm like, are they not talking to each other? Because he was just getting caught so often. I'm like, is it fitness? Because he's obviously got a good tank, but I'm like, maybe his speed, maybe I had a perception that he was faster. Not sure.
I'll tell you someone who is talking at the games. Impey is talking. I could hear him from the 4th level. It was great.
Amazing. We have a relative of his that joins us sometimes. So, it's nice to hear, and look, I think he's mine for this year. He's one of mine that I think will really take another step again, just that little bit more confidence in his body. So, right, here we go. Getting some thoughts on Tom Phillips. Yeah, I think Isaac would throw it on the right boot occasionally rather than the left if he was really under the pump. So, I was like, is it awareness? Is he playing a new role? Is it just getting used to that structure? Cody's telling me he's all right. So, there we go. What else about the midfield?
Warple?
What are you thinking, Aaron? Yep.
What do the fans think about Warple?
Lay it down there, fans. I thought he was going to have a cracker, Geelong. You can't think of Warple without seeing that image of him taking on Selwood and doing that blind turn and away he goes, and you're just like, oh, look at this kid. So, beautiful. And he's had such a massive year in 2019. I thought it was going to come this week after sort of wasn't the greatest performance for his 50th game milestone the week prior.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't think he's really recaptured that form since the trio of O'Meara and Mitchell coming back from that massive injury. I don't know what it is with Warple. It was like you. I thought he was going to have a blinder, and I was so excited. I just wanted him to, tear that midfield apart, but not so. I'm really hoping he responds this week. Yeah,
look, I think he will come back in a big way. It's just that hurt, and a few of the fans are mentioning it, that second year blue, but even though he's a 4th year player, just he's done very well working out the dynamics. And we saw an interesting thread on Twitter let me bring it up. It was about how. Who's your impression of being the extractor? Mitchell, Warple, O'Meara. Fans, what are you thinking? And Aaron, what's your first impressions there? Who does the extracting, getting the ball out?
Well, I mean, Jeka had, was it 13 clearances?
Freaky game. Yeah, some massive stats.
Very good.
But so for the season, Jeka is third in the AFL on 26 clearances. So then you drop next down to Mitchell, who's on 10, and Warple 7. So it's puzzling. Your big boy's got 9. So Warple's not playing that same extracting role. Mitchell's still a bit see ball, get ball for mine. Just trying to work it out with Warple if they're trying to change the role that he's playing. But that was Justin Hawks on Twitter. So thank you for that, Justin. Yeah, there we go. A lot of people thinking it's Jeka. Maybe he's got that role. What I do love is he is able to, mixture of views. He's able to go in and get it when he wants to, generally. Yeah, so where do we, and there was the push.
The push. Was that really worth a goal, was it?
It was the interpretation of where they award the free kick.
I wish we get awarded free kicks in the right position constantly throughout the entire game that gives us goals, but
Yeah.
Don't sound bitter at all.
Yeah. Look, we try not to talk too much about the umps in here and try to keep it generally positive, but we've got to be honest. That one sucked. So, look, there's a few 50s paid against us. Just playing a little bit of catch up here with the fans. But I think on the whole, it's not just one or two decisions, is it? Or house kick at the end of the game for mine. What did you see at the ground? Anything? What was your passion? Where were you at? Tell me.
You just told me you didn't want me to talk about umpires, so
yeah, sorry, I'm leading you astray.
The ground then, it was rubbish. No, look, look, there was obviously plenty of decisions that didn't go our way, but like Clarko said in the press conference, there was 100 decisions in that game where we could have won that game, but young team, it obviously worked out for us against Essendon. We could have easily won that game, and I think that was the most frustrating part. But it's round 3. It's not towards the end of the season, and they'll learn from this, which is a positive.
Absolutely. So, look, we've probably just run out of time there with the game this week. I think it's some really, really promising signs from the team across the board. Forwards, the entry, just getting the chemistry right. Jeka's playing well. Lewis is playing well, or Jeka's had a good game this week, which we'll touch on in a minute. So, where was Hardigan at for you? How did you rate his game?
He was whacking Hawkins in the back of the head.
More than once, or just
just that one time, I guess. He won that battle a couple of times. I think Hawkins is obviously dangerous against everyone, but he particularly likes to get up and about against us, obviously. There was a couple of battles that he won, which was good, particularly in the first half. I didn't really notice him towards the end, which is not a bad thing for a defender. Mm-hmm. But I think he's doing all right. He's having a fairly good season.
I think so. We need that big body, and he's copped a $2,000 sanction. Tom Mitchell also got a little bit of a fine for striking. So that's sort of no injuries from the game, which is good. But look, the fans have got a variety of things to say here. Why don't we just go to the fans for a minute? We're just going to bounce around here. Help me out, Darren. Daniel Hooper.
Daniel's talking about that mark that Cozzy dropped the sitter running back with the flight of the ball, which would have, again, won us the game. That should have been an easy goal that we gobbled up. I don't know what that was. It looked like it just kind of hit the outside of his arm and bounced away. Yeah, I mean, a learning curve again. Don't just expect that it's going to, sit into your chest as you're running with it. But he did pretty well. Like, he kicked a good goal when it mattered. I really like Cozzy. I want him to stay in the team.
Yep. Yeah. How long do we give him, fans? What do you think with Cozzy? Because I'm with Aaron there. I think and that's Clarko's way. He doesn't just sort of like to drop him in and pull him out quickly. Give him a chance, let him learn at the level. And if it means, a good few weeks back at Box Hill to apply themselves there, it'll be interesting to see how long he gets. Let's hope he has another 6-goal haul. Fans, I'm carefully choosing here. You've got some some interesting ones. I think, we did have one lockdown defender for the day. Did you see? There we go. Just holding ground for the whole. How long was it? Hour and a half.
I think Geelong tweeted that it was 100% game time on ground or something. They went to town with it on socials. Yeah, definitely made us very anxious in the crowd watching that unfold, especially with Big Boy stomping around near the poor bird.
And then it just flew off in the end. It was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, what about CJ? His game, we touched on briefly at the start, but look, he's
what about CJ? CJ's saying hi.
CJ, if this is the real CJ.
We love you, CJ.
We do love you. There's a lot of Hawk love for you, mate. Congratulations on a second MVP from the fans as voted. Loving your aerial work, CJ. You're an excitement machine. What do we say? Is it 10 games now? 11 games he's played? I think it is. What are your initial thoughts on CJ? Because he's really getting a lot of airtime.
Yeah, it was great being at the ground and hearing the fans get so excited whenever CJ went near the ball. Reminds us obviously of Rioli and the excitement that he brought to our club. But it's just the confidence that he has, willing to take the game on, not worrying about who's around him. Obviously the dusty fend off last week as well, which was amazing. And CJ is saying here's the left of the game.
There we go.
And it's also the disposals and the decision making, which has really gone up a level. And the more game time he gets this season, that improvement is going to keep on coming. And Hawks fans should get excited and get behind him.
Yeah, I've noticed the bit of size, and I know some of the Sudanese lads can put on some size. So CJ, don't put on too much and lose your speed, because that's electric. We need that. We love it. Look, this is great. We do have a few different Hawks players that tune in, but I don't think we've had a legit one live. So, CJ, has anyone got a good question for CJ while we're here, fans? Here we go. This is a cracker.
Yes.
Mate, I go to bed at night, I dream about this stuff. Fender, you've nailed that. Look, it's going to be we're going to the CJ tilt now, so it's on all stations. We're firing on all cylinders. CJ, is there a tweak to what you're being asked to do in your role this year as opposed to last year? As we just keep going through some of the fans' comments here. I think, Troy, you're onto it. We did need that run, that speed, and disposal has been phenomenal. I love that he took out the time trial. He called it. We watch all your stuff, mate. You took out. It was Finn, wasn't it? Did Finn get the first round?
I'm sure he'll tell us.
Yeah, I think he did. I think he got the first time trial, and CJ's called it. Baka.
Matt and Aaron, how are you?
How are
Happy
you?
birthday, mate.
Oh, thank you. I had to wrap up the celebrations early because I just couldn't stay away. You just stay away.
You just got to whiff that we had CJ on. So here's the great man.
I'm like, I was going to comment. I'm like, I'm running upstairs and I'm getting on this.
CJ, Brad's even done his makeup for you tonight. So there you go. Clark has just told you, keep being yourself. Love this. Love this.
How good is CJ? Come on.
Yeah, see, I'm all over this stuff. And it was great.
Get on the CJ train.
The documentary on Foxtel, if you haven't seen it with CJ, just talking about where he come from and his journey in football, we'll chuck a link in the YouTube show after this one gets posted live. So, Barks, we're halfway through the show, but what have you got for CJ?
All right, for CJ, he's a future superstar. To me, he could potentially be a Brownlow medalist. And I'm not. Look, I know I love a bit of hyperbole every now and then, but seriously, the kid has got everything. He's got everything he could need in order to be a future superstar. And I'll fight anyone over that.
No pressure, CJ.
We've got plenty of interest, and look, it is nice at this time when we've got a young team to see, a young player, and it does only take a few more stepping up like CJ is to be able to really take an extra bit of load off the senior guys. It's going to inspire the other youngsters.
Do you think he could play in the midfield, Matt?
Ask him. I do, but we lose a little bit with off half back.
But look who we've got coming back in.
Why don't we have the video of CJ queued up where he just got paid a 50-meter penalty? I've never seen anyone do this, CJ. Outrun the guy on the mark. And can you please do that again for Talking Hawks next week? Or any time this season, you get a 50. It's exciting.
CJ's on. My God, I'm only just realising this now. I'm like, what do you mean? Ask him. CJ, we love you, mate. Mate, can you play in the midfield? I reckon, tell us, mate, are they getting you ready for the midfield one day? Is there any potential for it? Like, look who we've got coming back, right? Sicily's coming back. Will Day's coming back. And it may be halfway through the year or whatever, or next year. But, man, can you imagine the CJ in the middle? Oh, that would be unbelievable. Or even up front. Like, that's the one thing that we're really lacking at the moment is someone to kick it to up front. Can you imagine CJ just hooking a mark out up front there? That'd be brilliant.
It's very exciting. There we go. Chuck Norris, you're probably too young, CJ. But anyway, you could be the new Chuck Norris as well. But look, it's exciting. Hold your spot, young fella. Keep going hard. Keep pushing everyone. Here we go. All right.
I'll play whatever role's needed of me. Love it. It's very diplomatic, eh? He's definitely a Hawks man. I love it.
You're a team.
Oh, there we go. Louise wants you forward. So we'll play on every part of the ground. Yeah, when Sis is back, maybe he can go forward. You can hold the back line, mate, because you're doing dandy. So we've lost our train of thought a little bit.
CJ, I want to know where CJ played as a young bloke. That's what I want to know. Where was your primaries? No, what position did you play when you were a kid?
Maybe it wasn't Terrell.
Yeah, was it down back or was it midfield? That's what I'd love to know. So anyway, now
testing his keyboard speed now, not just his running speed. So
CJ, we'd love to get you on one week, mate. That's for sure.
The fans would love you. We would love you. We could just do a live. Geez, we could just about do it now. But
he was a winger. Love it.
Brilliant.
Love it. Yeah. So that's midfield, but still, I mean, through the middle, man, he would be outstanding in the midfield. And I don't mean the wing, like right in the guts. So the tank on that bloke is unbelievable. Mate, we're loving having you on here, CJ. So thank you for joining us. It's a real honour to have you here. So,
We'll touch base with Stephen Gillam, and we'll see if that might be possible. CJ, we'll tee something up if you're up for it. So, or let us know now. But we've had Justin Reeves say he'd come on. CJ, can you rib him for us? The CEO told Brad twice.
Twice he told me he'd come on. He hasn't yet. But
so look, we're going to quickly cover Box Hill. We've chewed up a little bit of time, which I've loved. But Box Hill, the excitement from there, Jeka. And it's a shame Chris couldn't make it tonight because he's been calling Jeka. So Box Hill versus Northern Bull Ants, 6 goals from the young man. And he could have had 8, I'm told. So that's very exciting. Apparently he's got that great set of dukes performing there. Cousins getting a lot of the pill, doing very well. So look, it'll be interesting to see how he can fit in and knock on the door again, just with the decision making, the improvement we're seeing. Reeves did well.
The depth. Oh, yeah. This is the thing, guys, is that every time we won our premierships in 13, 14, 15, our Box Hill team was competing for premierships as well. And it's the same with Richmond. So it may be tedious to talk about Box Hill at times, but the reason we do is it's important to see what future we have and what depth we have. And that's a real barometer for our future and where we sit. So if you don't pay attention to Box Hill, I highly recommend it. See where they sit, give it a glance once a week, or you don't even have to watch the game, but have a look at where they're sitting and how they're going, and that'll be an indication for what future we have. And the future's looking really bright for us. Yeah.
CJ, there you go. You've got best on tonight. You're winning awards all round. There we go. We're getting all the pearls of wisdom from CJ. So for mine as well, Nash really lined them up. He only played a half and just was organising the forwards very well, the structures. And once he stopped, so maybe that meant Nash was being looked at to play in the ones. So that was good. Hartley did a little bit of time in the ruck, which was interesting. But his footwork, his kicking through the middle of the ground is a big bonus, I think, when we have that. So given we chewed up a little bit of time, Downey as well, quite composed at times, had some good creative moments. So that's exciting to see him coming along. CJ, tell us about Connor. Give us a little nugget on Connor Downey, if we can. But our boy, DGB, Denver, Grainger-Barras, did not take part in training and obviously not playing at the moment with the meniscus. So hopefully he and Chad were having a seat at today's training. So that's some of the latest.
Hey, can I just say, guys, I actually was a bit disappointed that Tim O'Brien got dropped. I know this is rare coming from me, but I thought it was a bit rough that he got dropped. So I'm sorry. I know it sounds weird coming from me, but I actually think that he's been playing his best. Look, the bloke is 27, right? So he should be at the peak of his powers and everything. And I'm pretty sure he's played over 50 games now. So he's broken in. But man, his ability to actually crash a pack and bring it to ground that's the one thing that we need up forward that we don't have. Now, if he could hold a mark, that'd be brilliant.
No, Lewis will crash a pack and bring it down. I think he brings it down.
Lewis took one good mark in the final quarter, and it was timely and it was great. But I don't know. Look, maybe Lewis needs a few more games, and maybe he'll come good. So yeah. Look, I don't know. I just thought it was a bit rough that Tim O'Brien didn't play again, because I thought he's actually been playing quite well. But who knows what else is going on.
Yeah, he's handy that he can swing. They can be playing down back or up forward as well for us, and even a pinch hit in the ruck. So let me just round out Box Hill. So they've won 116-68 against Northern. So Greene kicked 5 as well. Cousins 2, Reeves 1, Phillips 1. So all good. CJ, I've got my son that wants to come and say hi. You guys take over a second. Go on.
Yeah, well, so Aaron, I think one of the biggest turning points of the game was when that Geelong player went down injured and they brought in their sub. And I thought Razor Ray was the greatest sub that Geelong could have had.
Oh, absolutely. I think someone before said Razor 3 votes, and I 100% agree. It's not the free kick tally; it's where they're paid and why. The push in the back, which was downfield. I mean, come on.
It was hideous. Look, I hate bagging on the umpires, but that game, I don't know how Razor keeps getting a game, keeps getting to officiate our games. I don't get it. I really don't. It's frustrating. So anytime he's there, he's always officiating the Hawthorn Geelong game. I can't remember a game without him. So anyway, but look, we made a lot of mistakes, and that's why we lost the game. So that's all there is to it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was very, very winnable. Yeah.
For sure. Yes. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Thanks, CJ.
Say hi.
You're right. You're spot on. We made too many mistakes. So
thank you, mate.
So we definitely made too many mistakes. So
it's a learning curve, though.
It's just natural learning progression, isn't it? There's going to be skill errors. There's game plans. I've heard that maybe some of the players perhaps weren't executing the game plan. Now that can be for a number of factors, pressure. They're still, they're forgetting there's not enough talk. Whatever it may be, the option that they're looking for is covered. So.
Matt and Aaron, I'll tell you this now, right? Last 2 games we played the 2 teams that were in the grand final. We held our own. We did really well, and we beat Essendon by 1 point. And look what Essendon did to St Kilda, right? So, if we're getting these losses out of the way now, I'm feeling really bullish about our year going forward. I'm telling you guys now, we are looking very, very good, and I'm really excited about it.
Yeah. Absolutely. I've been saying before the season started that I don't think that we're a bottom 4 side or even close to it this year. I hope not. I don't, expect this team to be playing finals this year. Obviously, if we do, that'd be amazing. But you can just tell the belief is there, the teamwork is there, and the effort's there. And as a fan, that's all you want. You want to go to a game and you want to sit in the stands and watch your team have a go, no matter who you're playing, no matter what the context of the game.
And our aggressive ball movement was just so exciting to watch. Like CJ, Frost, these blokes off the halfback was just so exciting. We've been missing it. And Wingard, he was A grade. He was elite in that game, and I loved it. I was so excited anytime he got around the ball. Well, so it's
Jeka as well. Jeka for that game, just sensational. So CJ, I don't know how you quite pipped the Jeka bomb, but you did, mate, for the fan vote. It's excitement, no doubt, but Jeka had a very good game. So I think with all of that, just bubbling up, we are, Clarko put it in perspective. He said maybe the Tigers and the Cats weren't at their peak of their powers, but it's very promising.
Yeah, but look, the what's the scope that we have to improve with this young team? Oh, it's so exciting! It's so bloody exciting.
Yeah. And I think someone was on socials was comparing the Dan Howe kick across the ground to the Luke Hodge mistake in 2008. I think it was like round 17 when we lost, and obviously went on to beat them in the grand final. And it kind of does give you that. I would obviously love to win the grand final this year, but it does give you that sense of belief that we're getting there. Like there is improvement. We can see it. We're not far off.
Absolutely. Oh, CJ, we never lost the belief, mate. We never lost it. As long as we got someone like Clarko at the helm and these young blokes coming through, we won't lose it. So it's I haven't seen any Hawk supporter losing the faith anyway. So have you guys? Have you seen anyone losing the faith at all?
No. I think the passion at times it's if anything, it's just a little bit of frustration here and then. We're used to the success, aren't we? Let's be honest.
But no, look, I don't care about the success as long as I start seeing potential and start seeing progress. I think that's what any supporter wants to see. and that you get to the finals and you have a chance and you got a crack. And that's what I get really excited about. And we're seeing it this year. And I think we should have gone back to the draft 3 years ago and started working the draft then instead of doing the trades that we were doing. But for whatever reason, we had this policy to keep topping up with the players that we have. And it's like, finally, this year they bit the bullet, and last year they bit the bullet and they said, no, we're going to the draft. And it's like, oh, thank God, we've got a future now. We've got a future. So, they're my thoughts.
I think, look, it's interesting. I think there's so many dynamics that are actually moving quite quickly. And the rebuild, I don't even know if you call it a rebuild, but I think there's a lot that's just really clicking. And I think it's going to be an accelerated, it's a galvanizing year. And so it's really going to set us a strong foundation for, beyond this year and beyond. So there's a good comment.
Matt and Aaron, when's Gunston back?
3 to 4 weeks. Yeah.
Look, that's what we're missing right now at forward is someone that can settle the forward and be a target or an extra target. It's like having Lewis up front is great, but we need that second semi-tall target that people can go for just to mix up the back line. But it's too predictable at the moment when you got this junior tall target up front. It's very easy to just double team him, shut it down, and they just get it back out again. If you have someone like Gunston there and Lewis there as a tall targets, that I think is really what we need at the moment. It'll make a massive difference for us.
On those talls, CJ, can you tell us about the way we're trying to get that ball in there? Is it meant to be long and fast like Sam Mitchell talked about at halftime? Interested to know just their entries. If we've got a set approach with perhaps if we change it when there's different bigs, maybe you can't give away too much intel, but we will see. Got a lot of questions still coming through for CJ, which is great. So I've parked on Paul's there. CJ, if you're still with us, who's the biggest supporter for you as a co-player in the team? Well, you might have to clarify what a co-player means. Is just someone that you're training with, maybe?
Yeah, who of his teammates, who's his biggest supporter?
Yeah, love it.
All right, CJ's answered your question, mate. Long and fast. Oh, sorry.
Triggers. Hands off, you go. Excellent. We will just try and touch on, Bud, you just keep ticking away at a few questions there that might come through for CJ, but I'll just look at the injuries briefly. Or Aaron, have you got those there too?
Scrimshaw has been his greatest supporter. Awesome. I love Scrimshaw. I don't know why he wasn't round one. Does anyone know why he wasn't a starter round one? Like, do we have that much depth? Scrimshaw, to me, is a 200-game player. I think he'll be there in the long haul. So maybe he was injured.
I think he might have. Yeah, I think he might have been just coming back. I'm not sure whether it was an injury or any surgery or whatnot. There we go. Greg's onto it for you. Injured.
Okay. Thanks, Greg. Appreciate it.
As far as
go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, as far as the injuries are concerned, so we've got Keegan Brooksby a test for this week, ankle. Obviously some of the long terms. Will Day, I think he went under the knife last week. Sicily, Seamus Mitchell as well. So with the ankle, so we've got DGB and Gunston 2 to 4 weeks on the Hawks website. So Denver with the knee and Jack with the back. So can't wait for him to be running around again. Beautiful. Well, fans, what an exciting night. We've had CJ. Thanks for joining us. We've got talkinghawks.com, where we are trying to raise funds for Denver Grainger-Barras to sponsor him. Get on board. We're going to close that out shortly in the next week or two. So get around it. We want to see Denver on the park. And hey, CJ, can you give us a little bit of an intel, a little bit of something on Denver? Encourage the fans to get on the DGB train as we we're calling it. But if you're interested, if any Can fans are, talkinghawks.com. We've got a range of donors, and there's a few different experiences and different things that come with part of being a sponsor that we're going to share amongst the group that get around him. So we're incorporated and Talking Hawks, so it's all legit. You'll get a receipt, etc. We've hit a few milestones as well. 1,500 Facebook likes on the page, and over 1,800 follows, and approaching 1,000 on Twitter. So for 1 year in, you guys are amazing. The big one for us is going to be YouTube. We're going to have some really unique stuff. And we've got a season preview for 2021 that took a little while to produce. And CJ is coming through with the goods. Look at this.
DGB train.
Ooh. That's an exclusive call, CJ. Have you looked in the mirror, CJ? Mate.
So is this fella too, hasn't he? There you go. Look, you two could be wreaking havoc anytime the ball comes into the opposition half forward. You boys will have it covered. As long as he gives it to you on the hands, well, you'll be off.
Look, whilst we're on the YouTube, Facebook thing and the followers, we love our Facebook followers, but we really want to start making a concerted move over to YouTube. So if you're not following us on there, please sign up on YouTube and follow us on there, and hit the subscribe and the bell button, the alert button as well. We'd love your support there. We are going to look at moving over to there eventually. We're not going to cut off Facebook, but we want that to be our main platform going forward. And in order to get more views, we need the algorithm to go up. We need to have more followers. So any support you can give us there would be great as well. So
absolutely.
Yeah. He's framed
on YouTube tonight. You can see there. So that's where it's at. So look, CJ, can you take DJB into the gym, into the weights room? You did really well in the off season. So while he's just recovering, just if it's his frame, just give him a little bit of bulk up lessons. Awesome. Well, thanks, fans. Aaron.
Hey, didn't CJ put on a few kilos in the off season?
Actually, well, come on. One last thing. How many kegs did you put on, CJ?
I reckon he's put on 5 kilos.
And for a lean fella, very respectful. Your skin folds must be amazing, CJ.
I thought he was the next Mad Jack Door, mate. Look at the size of him.
Well, look, it's the potential there. But I reckon you're around the money. 5 kilos. It's probably about there.
Hey.
There we go.
You legend.
And counting.
Come on, I want to know what food you ate, CJ, to get that 6.5 kegs. What food was that? That wasn't your mother's food, mate. Come on, what were you eating?
Are you looking to bulk up?
It's done in the off season, surely. The bulking. Now we maintain.
That is extraordinary mass that he's put on.
It is, isn't it?
It is.
There we go. Look out, Mad Jack. 6.5. Wait till next off season.
Oh, mate, can you imagine? That's unreal. Excellent.
All right, guys. Well, we'll call it a night. Thanks so much for joining us, CJ. You're a legend. We look forward to cheering you on from the stands, and when we can get there. Have a great night, everyone. Catch you soon.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
See ya.